That's okay. Yep.
Okay. So is this who we're expecting? Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
think it's
Ex
everybody.
Excellent. All right. I would like to open up the Madison Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Agency meeting for Monday, August 4th at 7 p.m. We have Martin Brogy, Lee Schumacher, Steve Lowry, Joe Boudreau, and myself as agency members, plus our staff, Maria and Raquel. All right, so our first item, so we have four applications from last month that we can act on tonight. I think we need to probably act on them tonight. Um, so we'll start with the first one. We've got 25-27, 10 Allison Drive. As you'll recall from last week or last month, this is a pool project, pool and patio project. And we helped out with the applicant and, tried to give them a lot of information about what we were expecting to see in a completed application. So we have someone from the design company here.
Yes, we should have Tamara from Magic Outdoor.
Hi, good evening. I'm here.
Hi.
I also have the owner who's in the Zoom as well, if he would like to see if he can be unmuted in case he wants to
Yep.
ask.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay. So you can give your names and then Tamara, it would be great if you can give us a brief recap of what's happened since last month.
Yes, of course. So my name is Tamara. I work with Magic Outdoor Design. And basically, I sent over to Maria the updated survey with everything that you guys had requested to improve, which was mainly the stockpile area. So now there's like a specific place where the stockpile area will be put in the survey notes 8 it specifies everything will be hauled off site as soon as possible.
Okay. And the paver size is also on the
Yeah.
plan?
Yes, it is. I believe it is in survey note number 7, which is
Uh,
that specifies the patio to be made of pavers, Cambridge XL Smooth design, and then The kit itself is a 2 3/4 pavers.
2 3/4 inches pavers. Okay.
I'm
Um,
sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's for the crushed stone. Um,
okay.
yes. Let me just double check he did put it on the map. Uh, I just had this ready. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It I think it'd be helpful. There's also what was added, it looks like from last time, is an outdoor kitchen.
Yes. That was originally in the plan, but we made sure that he specify where exactly it will be. So we made the plan a lot more like detailed.
Right, because as we discussed last time, we need to see everything as much as possible in
Yes,
order to act on this.
correct. Yes. So we added also like on the pool house, if you guys can see, we added where the bathroom is and where the pool house storage will be too. So like the separation between the both. We specify where the kitchen will be, where the in-ground pool. Um, pretty much everything we could. And then I also had him do the erosion control in red lines, and that's going to be there the entire time of the project as well to protect the wetlands itself.
Right, the erosion, and sedimentation control. Um, I was just gonna ask a question. Oh, so what's up with the septic? So do you are you do
Yes.
you need another, do you need the state permitting, or are you
No.
okay?
No, I spoke to Trent and he basically told me to finish up with the inland wetland, and once that's approved, I can go meet with him and show him the plant site. But he told me that since the bathroom will be connected to the basement, there's no need for state approval, so we would just have to go ahead and do the application with them.
Okay. Um, other questions from
Mhm.
agency members?
Yeah, this is Martin Brogy. I see that on the plan, there's an existing 4-inch PVC drain. I imagine it's sort of a yard drain, and looks like it was there already.
Yes.
I'm wondering if it's shown somewhere where that discharges to, and also how the stormwater around the pool and the patio is going to flow into where, and where's it going to be discharging? Are there other drains? Are there other pipes? Where's the water gonna go?
And,
So I did try to find out exactly where this drainage went, and I even spoke to Trent about it, see if he knew a little bit about it. So we're gonna have to have somebody come out and basically put a camera through it to figure out exactly where the drain leads out to. So that is part of our plan.
Okay. Are there any plans, or is there anything needed around the pool and patio to capture and direct stormwater that falls on those areas? Or is it gravel underneath everything? What's gonna happen to that water?
It's gonna be gravel and everything.
Around the pool, what's the treatment around the pool?
I'm gonna have my husband speak to you guys because he knows a lot more.
Oh, okay.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. How are you
Hi.
doing?
So
Can
yeah,
you
that's
give
my
your name?
yeah, my name is Jose Jimenez.
Okay.
I am Magic Outdoor Design owner. So the point is right here, we're
Okay.
gonna do the whole base with 3/4 crushed stone, and we do all around at least 2 feet with crushed stone to keep the water going in.
Okay. But around the pool and the pool and the patio aren't going to be crushed stone. They're going to have stone. What's going to be the final treatment of the surface there on top of that crushed stone?
So it's
That
gonna
would
be
be those Cambridge pavers, right?
yes, it's gonna be papers. Yes.
Okay, all around everything.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And there's no need to worry about runoff. It's all going to kind of perk between the pavers through the stone.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay.
And we have
That
extra
sounds,
that drainage over there, so we have to look where it goes and check
yeah.
one more drainage all the way down, crossing the patio.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
What did that 4-inch drain serve before? Was that grass or what was there? Why did they need that drain?
I can only assume it had
Yeah,
to do with
yeah,
when they built the
definitely.
house.
Yeah, it is already there for the old patio. It's a drainage for the old patio, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because
All
right
right.
now there's an existing patio area under, like, the deck is raised, and there's already
Uh-huh.
an existing patio, and they're extending the patio out to the pool area, the new
I
pool.
see. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so Martin, that was a question I'd asked last time as well, like where's the water going? But it sounds like given the paver size, I guess that it's going to be infiltrated. Is that
Yes.
yes. Okay. Um, so hopefully all the agency members saw the additional information about the sequence of construction that
Yep.
we'd asked for. So that was added as an
Addendum.
addendum. Want to add too many more D's in there.
We
Um,
also, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say we also had some renderings too. Were you gonna mention that there was a lot of renderings as to
Yeah,
what?
right. That show. And I had a question about one of those, and I don't know if this matters, but it looks like on the renderings there's a bunch of lights that are going around the outside. Is that the case?
Yeah, they're gonna have garden lights.
Are those just small pop-in solar lights?
Yes, it's
Okay.
solar.
Is
Okay.
it? Are y'all seeing that? Am I share? I'm sure. Oh
No,
wait,
you're not. It's not sharing anymore.
hold on.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
it
those
is just solar lights.
okay.
Garden.
So
Those
that's
are
what
all solar
So
garden.
no trenching for electrical.
No, there is just that ones are just solar.
Okay.
and that's what we hope the completed project will look.
So, okay. Those pavers are going to be, is that what the pavers are going to look like? Is that as,
Yes, yes, definitely. They got 1/4 joint between each one.
okay.
And you see that you can see the drainage how it's gonna be all the way down in the middle of the patio,
And
connected to the all.
okay, so that's the drain that Martin was asking about.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that right there is before the pool. So that's what we hope to accomplish this year.
Okay. And right, it says on that you're hoping to start the pool or someone will start the pool next in
Yeah.
2026.
Yes, definitely.
Um,
So you're going to put down all those pavers in that area only to pull them up a year later to put the pool in?
No, the pool's gonna go beyond it, right? Hold on.
Yes. So the pool is going to be elevated and it's going to be right on the back
Oh,
part.
I see. I'm sorry. Okay.
I thought I had a, hold on. I'm making everybody car sick here. Hold on. There we go.
I see. Yeah, I get it now. Thank you. Sorry.
That looks nice.
Thank you.
all right. Any so so the kitchen is now in the plans. So hopefully the plans are complete. You will make sure that we add on this construction sequence onto the site plan so it's an official part. Um, it looks like you have appropriate ENS controls and the lights are not going to require trenching. That's correct?
Mhm.
Correct.
Correct.
All right. Other questions?
No,
Okay. Well, um,
do we have a staff memo on this one?
we do. I can share what I have. Maybe.
You can.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is our staff memo. You can take a peek. I'll entertain a motion to get us started.
I move we approve application 2527 10 Allison Drive. Um, and it looks like we have a standard staff memo and those conditions look good to me.
Okay, I'll second. Okay, so we can have some discussion. I guess one thing I would like to do is add on as a condition that the construction sequence be um an official part of this application. Or I don't know what it needs to be. Usually we have that within an application, right? Within the site plan.
Sometimes it is on the site plan, sometimes it's a page 2. I mean, it doesn't necessarily always have to be, but sometimes they do put it on the
Okay.
site plan, yeah.
Well, as long as it's associated, so do we need to make that a condition that it's included, or is it already automatically, included with this application?
It is,
Like a
it's part of the
okay.
application, if you want to condition it that they, follow the construction sequence, I don't know, um, what it's,
Well, I guess because we have stockpiling and everything, it's nice to be able to have something we confer to. If anything has to change, then that these changes have to be looked at least by you, right?
yes, they would be. I mean, I'd be on the building permits, so, um, nah, definitely when the pool permit comes in, for the patio permit, they would have to notify me anyway. We'd be, keep track of the patio work right now.
Okay.
So, and I'm sure anything they would need for the outdoor kitchens as far as gas piping, plumbing, anything like that. I don't know if they're, need to do any of those. You can make it if you want to put in there, that they follow the construction sequence or the addendum, we could put that in there.
I'd like to, just since it
Okay.
came late today and it helps us. Well, I will suggest that as one of the conditions on this, that that addendum needs to be followed.
Okay.
Um, and just again to highlight that the area beyond the open space marker shouldn't be maintained and should go back to the natural condition, which is great. Are there any other concerns or conditions that people feel need to be added onto this?
I have one thought, and I would just put this out there that we might consider it as a condition. But we've got this existing. So in looking at the 3D rendering, you can see that the lower patio is sunken. There's no way for water to get out of that area other than that drain. And they will probably need, as I think uh, the applicant indicated, some additional drains in there. But those drains are going to have to daylight somewhere. Right now, we don't know where the existing drain goes. We don't know if where that drain goes will work for the rest of the drainage in that lower patio. So it's possible that there might need to be some excavation and some work to make the drainage work, to put a pipe in that's going to drain that whole area. And we don't know where that's going to go. I, I'm not terribly concerned about it. It would probably be a 4-inch pipe, and it's not a terribly big area, but it's going to take some flow, and it's going to need to be pitched properly and need to have some protection at the end, and we don't know where it's going to go right now. So I think perhaps that once they figure that out, they can come back to the wetland enforcement officer, with some details, and then perhaps you know we can discuss it at another meeting, unless Maria thinks it's negligible enough to just kind of pass through. But it's going to require some work to get the place to drain, and we don't know where that is yet.
Martin, you were, you just got the idea that the patio is going to be sunken tonight?
Yes,
Yeah, I didn't see anything that made me think the patio was going to be sunken or that the pool was going to be raised. So yeah, that's a little different than what the flat plan
I
seemed to
think
show.
yeah, I think that it's kind of that way now, the way the yard goes dips, the existing patio already dips under
Yeah.
a little bit.
okay.
Um, do you want to condition it that if any additional drainage needs to, occur or be constructed, that they need to return, or at least, you know,
Yes.
I would take it a little bit further than that, and that is we're going to need to know where that outfall is. And we're going to need to know the specifics of, do they need to bring a machine, right up to the property boundary to dig something out, or is this going to be handwork just uncovering an existing pipe? I mean, we don't really know. So it'd be nice to know what the details are.
On the plan, it looks like it goes out into the wetland and exits, but we don't know what the elevations are.
I
It
didn't
goes
see
out
that.
into the open space area,
I didn't see that. Thank you.
but don't know what the elevation is. And when you've got a patio like that, you need to make sure you have good drainage, because I've got a section under my house where water can fill up, and if the drain gets clogged, you have to run out in the middle of a rainstorm with a bucket.
Yeah. So I don't see a pipe coming out going into the wetlands.
Well,
I
there's a
just
little sign that points to the drain, and then you see there's a line that goes out into the wetlands. Can Maria bring that back up?
Here, let me stop sharing.
If I may, I'm Ranjit Deshpande, and I'm here with my wife Ruchika Karnik. We both live at 10 Allison Drive. Um, we've never had. There's a drain right actually at the edge of where the kitchen is, and we've been in this house since 2018, summer of 2018, and we've never had an issue with flooding or any waterlogging there. I do think that it would be a big concern if we don't know where the drain is draining, which we were just talking, and I think we will look into that.
Can you see, Martin, where the drain comes out from that little square next to the kitchen, and then there's a line that runs out to existing 4-inch PVC drain out in the wetlands there in the open space.
Yeah,
can you zoom in there? I don't see it. I'm sorry.
it's not a line, it's just an arrow. It looks
yeah,
Okay.
it's just an arrow
it's
showing
just it's just the arrow
Yeah.
showing where it
Yeah,
goes.
that's just an inset arrow. Yeah, just showing the drain.
Oh,
Yeah.
well then we don't know where it goes to.
Right.
But
And
we're
Right.
assuming, I mean, I would assume it goes out to the wetlands.
that's what I would assume upon the building of the house, that it was
Yep.
some,
Yeah, that's
footing drain
downhill.
or,
That's the low point.
footing drain of
Um,
something.
so I do think that I think it's a valid point about the drainage. There's going to be more construction there. There's going to be more, even with infiltration, it's more impervious surface. So I think it's a condition about however it's phrased, about understanding about if there's going to be any work on that drain, it needs to come, at least Maria, you would need to look at it and see what happens. And I say that on top of, we had opening hill issues with drainage, and, we've had stuff come up as people are building, and stuff comes up, but it'd be good to kind of flag this right now.
Yeah, I would suggest that we ask the applicant, when they get to that point in the project, wherever it fits in their schedule, to explore that drain and determine where the outfall location is and whether or not it's suitable for the entire patio area. And just show it on a sketch and give it to Maria.
Okay, wetland officer to be notified upon
You know,
excavation,
Or discovery of the,
excavation of existing drain exist. existing drain
Discharge
and
location.
discharge.
Are you
location.
are you comfortable with that, Maria?
Yes, yes. Then when
Okay.
they, expose it and we see where it
Yeah.
goes, I'll go out and inspect it. And if it's something that's gonna require some additional, diverting or drainage elsewhere, or, additional drainage, then yeah, we'll make the determination if you'll have to come back.
Okay. So that's our fifth condition,
Fifth
right?
condition.
That's our fifth condition. Any other discussion or comments on this application? Oh, thank you, Maria. Look at this real time. All right, so we've had a motion, we've had a second, we've had discussion. If there's no further discussion, so now's your time to say, if there's no further discussion, then I, I move that we approve application 25-27, 10 Allison Drive with the 5 conditions we've discussed. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Luck with it.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Okay, let's
Okay.
just give Maria a hot second here to
Okay,
open and move people and
I'll talk slowly. So our next application is 25-28, 397 Durham Road. This is for a regulated activity permit to remove an existing cottage and construct a multifamily residential development and associated improvements within the 100 feet of the wetland. And this is one where we didn't do a site walk, but everyone was encouraged to drive by and check it out. It's a kind of a tight spot.
Okay. I think I have Mr. Klein is on.
Hello.
Hi. So, and no engineer then, or,
No, I'll represent myself.
okay. All right, well, this is our first, time hearing from directly. So do you want to give us a brief overview of your project?
Sure. Well, the idea is the existing cottage is in very poor shape. If you walk the property, you might have noticed that. Um, so the idea is to remove it and provide, better quality housing on this spot to try and minimize land disturbance, by situating the new built structure over roughly the same footprint of the old cottage, and reusing the existing driveways. We've got the septic trench going in such a spot where we can minimize like disturbance to vegetation as well. But I think the whole project, we might be able to get away with only removing maybe 2 to 3 of the larger trees. I'm very concerned with trying to, keep a lot of the natural feel of the property and the natural vegetation that is already there. Um, and, part of it too is I have this idea of kind of trying to create a model for infill development. So this is sort of an experiment for me, just to, I see a lot of these big housing projects going up with, they can start with 10, 20, 30, 40. I see a lot of people not really liking that as much. And I think it might be nice to have, we don't see much development of, 3, 4, 5 family buildings anymore. And, that you can redevelop, already existing, small lots in, already developed areas. And so that's part of the argument I made to the zoning commission and why they liked what I was proposing. Um, I don't have elevations because I've been kind of doing it very much in a step-by-step process. And so I started out with just engineering the septic and getting that through the health department, and then moving on to wetlands. Um, and then the next step would be to hire an architect and come up with elevations. I'd have to go back to zoning with a site plan and, showing them what it is exactly I'm proposing to do, as far as the features of the building. But the footprint of the building will remain as is, this, 40 by 60. It's one building with four apartments, two on the first floor, two on the second floor. And as far as the parking and the driveway, if you look at it, that it's really reusing parking that already exists. The driveway already exists. I know the engineers put in a construction entrance, but the existing drive is a very solid process access way with an existing asphalt apron at the street. So I don't really see, a big problem. If I do see that the vehicles are tracking a lot of debris into the street, I might be able to get out there and clean it up or do something, but I can keep most of, the day-to-day traffic on the existing drives without, creating, having, vehicles, churning up mud and carrying it all over the place. Um, so that said, I'm sure you're interested in drainage. We have the roof draining toward the south, which is toward the pond, if you see the drain there. Actually looking at doing a single pitch north to south so that if, it's feasible to cover the roof with solar panels, I can cover the roof with solar panels, um, and maximize that in some way. Um, I might have preferred to have the roof drain to the back, but then it would have to cross through the septic, and that obviously doesn't work. So we'll drain it toward the pond. Um, the drainage from the roof into the pond shouldn't be significant relative to the amount of flow that enters the pond in a storm anyway, because the um, drainage comes from the south, and there's a significant amount of drainage area that feeds into that pond from the south anyway during any rainstorms. And there's a spillway that brings it down to the road. Then it follows the road up to Guzzle Brook, which is a couple hundred yards to the north, the outflow from the pond. Um, that's about it for now. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to entertain it.
Thank you. Questions from
I
agency?
want to point out just one sec, because I know Kayla, we were kind of mentioned this. So this is the existing. Can everybody see? I mean, they proposed. Can everybody see the existing under here? Because it's really faint. I just wanted to kind of point that out. That's the existing house outline right now. And I know Mr. Klein's application says it's going to relatively take up the same area. So I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Has the septic system been approved yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
I think that was in the staff report.
that's right.
So when the staff report says 4 2-bedroom apartment buildings, that's incorrect.
Two-story
Really?
bedroom apartments.
It's one building with 4
One bedroom,
apartments.
yeah.
Okay.
This is Martin Brogy. I have a couple of questions for you.
Hmm?
It looks like based on all the grading around the septic system that this is an engineered elevated system. It wasn't able to meet code at grade.
Uh, that I'm sorry, I can't quite answer. I think it is going to be close to grade anyway. It's not going to be significantly different than the existing grade. Because I think it's
Well, it looks like
we can
there
zoom into
are,
it. I can see what it's showing.
yeah, it looks like there are three contour lines sort of mounded around the system
Okay.
on the north and east and southeast side. So,
Hmm.
and I can't really see the existing s- existing topo, although there's 84.
This is
Okay.
84.
Yep. Yep. 84. So it's coming up. It's going to be,
Hmm.
so it's,
This is 85. Yep, this is 84.
yeah.
80,
So there,
83. That's 83.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's fill extending from the, proposed leaching trench extending north and extending east. You can see it sort of bending around.
Hmm.
It's sort of a 2 to 3 foot drop. I'm like, is that a cut? It's 85, 86, 87. Existing grade is 84. Yeah, it's a fill. We're sort of filling up.
Well, maybe
And with that,
could
yeah,
I maybe it's just the backside in order to, level it. Because there is a little bit of pitch there,
yeah,
going.
not much by eye when
Yeah.
I was out there. And if you look at the grades, it's pretty level. There's 84 and then there's 83 just past the oak and the soil stockpile area. It's not a lot of topo out there in existing conditions. So, and my point is this, you bring in, I noticed when I drove in the driveway, um, and turned right in that little parking area that exists there, it really felt wooded across where the septic system is now. And I'm glad you pointed out, the larger oaks you're planning on saving, because they are pretty tremendous.
Mhm.
But when I see this much fill, it makes me, obviously wherever you're filling is going to be bare ground. And and there's not the forest south of the larger wetland is, really nice and significant. And the wetland's fairly open, so that shaded buffer, especially on the south side, is really important.
Hmm.
So, I'm just thinking, how do we minimize impact to that forested area north of the house? One thing, certainly the soil stockpile area is right smack in the middle of the lovely forested area. That could be moved over to where that four space parking area is. And the silt fence is way beyond the toe of the slope there, even beyond one of the large oaks, which again would speak to a disturbance area. We want to make that as minimal as possible. Also, where is the current septic system?
Uh, yeah, that's sort of unknown. It
Okay,
extends at the, if you can see the north, somewhere around the north side of the house, or that little addition jutting out, maybe to the west of that, and then out. There is a small septic tank there. It's like a 500-gallon tank. There's,
okay. So it's in the area of the proposed system,
yeah,
which is
part of
good
it.
and bad. It'll have to be excavated. So my thought was, again, in the spirit of trying to minimize impact on the forested area south of that larger wetland, you
Hmm.
know, how much can you pull south? I mean, your building setback is 30 feet and you're at 42.6 on the southern property boundary. Can we slide the building back? Can we slide the septic system back? I know it's already been approved. That's the risk you take. And then maybe shorten up the driveway, so you can still get those four spaces in there to the southeast. So that's what I'm thinking.
Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, do you think that's necessary? I mean, if you want to adjust the
I'm sorry.
stockpile, maybe in the silt fencing, I'd be happy to do that. And, I don't know. I mean, I can
You,
talk to the engineer about moving it, but I'm
so
sure.
you're, Martin, you're suggesting shifting everything this way?
Yeah, that's just a thought. I'm just putting it out there as
Right, because
consideration.
just
Can we
keep in
reduce
mind too that
impact?
this right here that's the 75-foot radius well line. So, um,
I see. Yeah, I don't think it would end up going that far. I mean, we only have another, few feet to go to the to the building limit.
Yeah, and then we have
Just a quick
another large oak here that we might impede on. So
to the
we
south.
yeah, that one to the south corner of the building that,
Uh-huh.
I'm hoping perhaps we can preserve that and work around it, but uh, we'll see what we can do. But if you move it, then that would definitely have to come out.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, that particular tree isn't providing a lot of, shade for the wetlands further to the north. Just to, those are just some thoughts I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you think the driveway would work by moving the building. That people would need a room to make the turn, a radius into the parking spaces where they are now.
Yeah, yep.
And that is all existing, actually. What it shows is existing. So
Hmm.
it's an
So you're
area.
trying not to disturb.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the more we dig and change, if I have to shift that, then I'm disturbing, and getting closer to the pond with it, perhaps. And it's nice having that area. I mean, I've kind of a believer too, Maria had mentioned that I don't have a landscape plan, but I kind of like to let nature show me what it can do for me and then work with that. And, if you come to my house, my yard is full of like patches of things that just popped up, without a lot of, and then I just weed out the undesirables and the invasives. So I have a big patch of Jerusalem artichoke, a big patch of milkweed, some Joe Pye weed in another corner, all these kind of interesting things. If you noted around the pond, I don't mow around the pond anymore. I let it kind of go natural. Um, my plan for the landscaping too is to try and see if I can do that as much as possible to, stick to what nature gives us.
Are you going to retain ownership of the property?
Yeah, that's my plan.
Ah, and you own it now and you've owned that cottage?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the
Cool.
whole property and the golf range property have been in my family since 47 or
That's
48.
great.
Mm.
These will be rental units, right?
That's right, long-term rental.
Well, I think, Martin, you brought up some good points though about the septic and the grading and the elevation. There is a lack of that on this plan. Um, and I know you're filling in, you're trying to replace in kind, but that's a pretty substantial septic system. And I'm not sure, I was looking, I didn't see, and I could be missing this, how much fill is coming in. Um,
No,
and
I don't think they did a cut fill calc.
okay, so that would be, you're so close to the wetland and um I I think more clarity on that would be helpful especially to have on the plan. Um, and I guess the same goes for thinking about how you're going to manage stormwater runoff from the building. It it looks like, just, I'm just eyeballing this, that I guess you're replacing almost in kind with square footage, so the impervious surface um maybe isn't changing a whole lot. I don't know, it sounds like there isn't anything necessarily in place right now. It would be helpful to have that more solidified going, on this plan so that we could understand where, it I think it's hard, we've had this with other applications. If we approve something and then something changes that, we haven't explicitly addressed, that makes it harder for us to enforce or whatever. And so it's, kind of waiting to see what's going to happen when you get the architectural people in there, um, can be a little challenging for us on our end without some of that information.
Mhm. Okay.
So so the cut and fill, all those calculations for the septic, definitely we want to see.
Hmm.
And understanding more about what you're doing with drain up, stormwater runoff would be helpful. I think, it's great to see what um kind of landscaping nature will provide. I will say, since you are clearing an area near that septic and you're going to be disturbing things and having disturbed soil, that you are likely to get invasives coming in that you don't have now. Um, so that would be something to think about. And I think we would want to kind of clarify, that there's, mowing next to the pond. It's great you're not doing it now, but I think we'd want to kind of clarify that there isn't a lot of activity and maintained lawn going right up to either those wetlands.
Right. Okay. I'm not sure how you want to do that. Put it in the permit, or is that how it's done, or I'm not sure.
Oftentimes it's put on the plan itself. I think this,
Okay.
I don't know, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think because we want those calculations for the septic, that
Mhm.
the site plan as it stands now is going to need to be modified. And so a lot of that can be added on. Like, I don't know how that gets added on, but
Mhm.
your engineer should be able to do that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maria, do you have, um,
Yeah, so it can go on the site plan. I
Yeah.
see.
yeah, I think as much as you can get on the site plan so that
So-
we know what we are
So,
approving or not approving is helpful.
yeah, the cut fill calc could definitely get on there. There is this, you know, you're saying you want more detail than what this is for the stormwater, the roof outlet stormwater detail, or you
I
think that
think,
it's,
well, I mean, it's kind of, we're approving something that we don't have concrete information on, if you approve that. And I think as much concrete information as we can have for applications is helpful. Because if no one has, if all we're seeing is this square, right? There's no one has come in and put in the architecture. And I
no,
guess
and
what
they,
I would
and they don't normally, they don't always necessarily do, but like,
know, but typically we often see stormwater management on site plans.
Mhm.
And I think that would be helpful.
Okay, I'm not sure what you think, I might add there, except maybe specifying a gutter for the south edge of the roof, and then, the downspouts or leaders and how they connect and flow into the outlet. Is that sufficient, or
And
where are we
I
looking
could
for?
be missing this, but I
Yeah,
mean, is the outlet on this plan? I'm
it
trying
is.
to,
Yeah.
It
my,
is. Yeah.
okay. But there's been no, I guess one thing that you said is you don't, there are no calculations about 1 inch, what's the first inch of stormwater, inch and a quarter, whatever the new regulations are, how
Mhm.
that's going to be managed. You're just using,
There is no right, there is no stormwater calculation on
Okay,
the plan.
so we can say,
we have new stormwater regulation.
1.3 inches or something like that?
Yeah, it's something like that. And that's typically, so most new design needs to take into account those stormwater regulations and figure out how you're managing stormwater and
okay,
having those calculations. So instead of saying, and you've had that property a long time, I'm sure you have a good sense of this, but for us, it's helpful to have those calculations in hand saying, okay, if there's a 1.3 inches of rain in a storm, what's going to happen to that water? And do you have the capacity with your stormwater system to manage that?
okay. Understood.
Anyone else?
Is that driveway, this is Steve Laurie, is that driveway gonna remain gravel?
Y- that is the plan. Yeah.
Okay,
Other questions for the applicant?
Did we lose Lee?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I don't see you in my little Brady Bunch squares. Oh, no, that's not
Um,
that.
I'm,
Oh, there he is.
if this is Martin, I'm not sure that the stormwater management regulations apply to this site based on its size. I'm not sure. I think they have to be an acre or more of disturbance. But I think it would be good to see drainage. And we have this gravel driveway will remain gravel and the parking areas will remain gravel, I think, which is good. But are there any low points in the road? Do they well when there's a big storm, where will that road runoff go? Will it just run off evenly to the edges? That would be a good thing to know, I think. Um, and I think, I don't know, the grassed area that's graded, I think would just sort of sheet flow off and infiltrate. But other than the gravel driveway and the building and whatever other impervious surface might be associated with the building, like sidewalks, um, I wouldn't be too concerned about drainage calculations, just knowing where things go, especially since the footprint is largely going to remain the same. That's my thought there. And again, however we can move that soil stockpile area or bring the silt fence down or something, uh, I I think is worth giving it a try. And showing notes on the plans, maybe a no-mow area between the driveway and the pond, or
Yeah.
however many notes you can add, David, to to
Hmm.
to to let the commission know exactly what's going to happen where and which way things
Okay.
are flowing.
Okay.
Yes. The more information we have on what's going to happen and that it is listed on the site plan, the better.
Right.
Oh, I have one more question. What's the nature of the existing wood road? Is that a required access or a right of way through that property that you need for the golf range, or is that going to be decommissioned somehow?
This one?
Yeah, that's just always been there. So
No,
we,
not that.
yeah,
Oh,
use it for access to the back of the property. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Maria, not that one. It runs along you can kind of see it
North side.
running on the north side. It disappears off this plan, but then comes back in near the wetland that you see.
it goes through the front parking lot and then it goes down and actually looks like it goes across part of the wetland.
It does. It crosses part of the wetland. Exactly.
It
And
goes to
so,
a larger equipment storage out back of out on the golf range.
oh, I'm
yeah,
not seeing it. Oh, there it is up top. I'm sorry, because I'm zoomed out.
yeah, you zoomed out. So,
Here.
I mean,
Okay.
so David, you don't need that road anymore. Is that correct?
Well, I'd claim I do. I like to use it, it's convenient and it gets me out there. And I mean, I could almost make a claim too that it preserves part of this little wet piece of wetland to the south by, you know, s- retaining some of the moisture there, a little longer than it might be otherwise. As things dry up, they drains away. But
In my mind, especially given the encroachment into that forested area south of the wetland, I was thinking it would be great to maybe plant some trees along that road. I mean, it's not shown as part of this plan. It's not connected to that parking area, and even the grading infringes on it. So, something it doesn't look like it needs to be used, according to this plan. Is it an access thing? There's no other way to get into to the golf course back there, or is it convenient because of where you live, or
uh let's see. Um yeah, I mean I have the golf range is closing up on September 1st, and a big part of the field is going to be taken up with solar panels and leasing the land of the golf range is a separate parcel. So that is sort of access to that building at the back. Um, let's see, I'm not sure how easy it'll be able to get there with the solar panels, how much they'll be in the way. Um, so
So you're not really sure if it's going to be feasible to even use after the panels go up?
yeah, I mean, I have to look at it a little more carefully, look at the plan.
Okay. I'm just trying to uh get the aerial view of where that is. Would I don't know, I sort of see it as an opportunity. What's the main entrance for that driving range area?
Well, I mean, through the building, pretty much. We don't have another.
Right, okay. Yep, I see. So you'd have to drive on grass to get to that building, or
Yeah, pretty much.
there's not, yeah, I don't
The
see a road there.
driveway.
Uh-huh. Okay. I just figured I'd throw that out there because I don't know, it
Maybe
looked like an
over
opportunity to me.
on one end, there's a septic system and, you know, some other
Yeah.
stuff.
So when you cut the grass, how does the lawnmowers come in? Do they come in down below by the building?
Yeah, they just come across the field.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it's an open field, so.
Yeah. I got you.
Okay. Are there other suggestions or comments for Mr. Klein?
Lee, no comment?
No comment.
Joe?
You guys got it. You guys got it covered.
Okay.
Can I just sort of recap what we're looking for so I know that I have it all?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want a cut fill calculation, mostly for the north side of the septic trench, right?
Yep.
And then we want some kind of stormwater calculation for the roof runoff.
Or right. As Martin pointed out, maybe I think it's helpful.
Mhm.
I think just more detail on what's happening with that stormwater, and I think it's helpful to have that calculation if you can get it.
Okay. I mean, there's like some kind of existing standard. You said there's a regulation. What is it with the state health department or where's that?
It's stormwater regulations, something.
Stormwater regulations,
Oh, a
but
deep.
the engineer would know.
Yeah, your
Okay.
engineer will know.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's it. And then, maybe marking a no mow area by the pond, maybe a limit of mowing toward the back,
Mhm.
perhaps toward the north side,
Yes.
so we leave a buffer of no clearing, no mowing
Yep.
somewhere north of the septic. So we know that that's, preserved and the trees are preserved there. Uh,
Um, and go ahead.
Anything I'm missing?
Yes, Martin had mentioned, and I agree, maybe tightening up your um the line of construction or your silt fence and trying to move that stockpile away
Okay.
from the oak and the septic. Um,
Okay. So you're concerned with sort of the damaging the root zone of the trees there. Is that it too? You don't
Well, the
want
wider you have the silt fence, that gives them birth to disturb to it, so.
yeah, so your silt fence should be as tight in to the zone of disturbance as possible. If
okay.
it, it will get used to the extent that it's there. So if it's possible to tighten that in and
Mhm.
to put that stockpile in a place that is, potentially less damaging, that would be great.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah,
And
yeah, I'm kind of
yeah,
spot.
and I think as you probably heard as well, it's great you're keeping the gravel driveway and the gravel parking places. I think, and I think it says that on there that it's going to stay gravel.
Mhm.
And if it doesn't, it should say that it's going to stay gravel. So that because otherwise you're adding a lot of impervious surface, which would definitely change your stormwater runoff.
Right, right. Okay. Uh, okay. So that covers it?
I think so. Anybody, Martin, did you have anything? Did we get everything?
Good, thank you.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. So yes, and I'm sure Maria's been taking excellent notes because she's so
Mhm.
helpful. And yeah, so if you can, come back with those adjustments for next month, that would be great.
Okay, very good.
You.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Our next application is 25-30, 702 Summer Hill Road. This is a regulated activity permit to convert above ground utilities to underground utilities below an existing steel culvert.
He's not here.
Oh dear. Really?
Unless he's CM. That's David. Bill Anderson's with this town. VHB's town. Rob Russo's town. I don't know who CM is, unless that's Lars.
If it's Lars, raise your hand.
Oh, yep, that's him.
Okay. Phew.
I got nervous. Okay.
You there?
Yeah, let's just give him okay.
So, CM is Chuck Mandel. I'm not here for that.
Oh,
Sorry.
Chuck.
I didn't want you to get in the mystery there. Sorry.
Goodbye. Take
Bye.
the leader.
Bye.
Okay, sign off.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
He's
Okay.
not here.
All right. Well,
CM is, come on, man.
come on, man. All right. Well, I don't know. So we can discuss this.
Literally said, see you tonight on the email. So
Right. Just kind of shorter.
you want to go to the next one? And
Yeah,
for
so
now,
We'll pass now.
we'll
Yep.
take
Yeah.
a pass here.
wait,
So
I Chuck, how do I get rid of Chuck then? Remove permission to talk. I'm taking his permission away.
oh dear. Okay. The next application is 25-32 Cops Road and Orpus Road. This is a town-driven application for pavement reclamation, vertical geometry improvements, roadway widening, storm drainage improvements, curbing, concrete sidewalk, and tree removal within the wetland review area.
Okay.
Assuming we have people here to chat with us.
Yes, so I just promoted because I don't know, sometimes Bill Anderson and Michael
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
from VHB, who are the engineering company. I made you panelists in case you want to share or I could share. Your choice.
Yeah, I mean, you could share. Depends on, let me know what you need from me as we get going.
Oh, you said you would share? That would be
No, you can go ahead and share.
okay.
Sorry. keep going.
Hold on.
Yeah, so it would be helpful. This is our first time hearing this. It was received last month. So it would be great if one of you can just state your name and give us an overview of your project and
Sure.
especially focused obviously on the wetland impacts.
Absolutely. Again, so my name is Bill Anderson. I'm the project manager with VHB, a sub-consulting firm located in Wethersfield, Connecticut. So this project is for basically the reconstruction of Cops Road and Warpus Road, starting at Green Hill Road and ending at the state intersection, Route 79 to Sternum Road. The project is funded through the local Transportation Capital Improvement Program. So this is the state bond program, which awards the town the cost of construction and the amount needed for inspection. The town pays for the design out of the town's coffers. So as for, again, the improvements, again, between Green Hill Road and Route 79. So as anyone that drives the road know that the road is in pretty poor condition. So the goal of this project is to make improvements to the roadway surface and also drainage improvements. The goal is to reclaim the roadway, and in doing so, we're essentially raising the profile of the road to be able to reclaim the existing road, compact that material in place, and then overlay with new asphalt. We'll be replacing majority of the catch basins through the project area, and then adding some additional pipe. We're also adding a new section of sidewalk that begins at Green Hill Road and I think end of the trail entrance, I think further north, not further north. As for work within the inland wetland areas, the goal is to ensure that before work begins, all the necessary erosion and sedimentation control measures are in place, and then those measures will not be removed until the slopes are actually properly stabilized. As for construction, when will construction begin? We anticipate construction to begin this fall and end. We'll anticipate some type of a winter shutdown and then begin back in the spring of 2026 and end in the fall of 2026. This what else I can think of here. We did provide some additional information based on your report. We did provide some additional information to help clarify or answer any questions that may be noted in that report. So I'm not sure if there's anything else you need me to go over. I can certainly get into more detail if you need me to.
Questions from agency members for Mr. Anderson?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Are there questions
Oh.
from the agency members for Mr. Anderson?
I'm trying to get my mind around how big the project is. How many linear feet of roadway are we talking about here, and about how many, is it, we're replacing a lot of drainage? What's the specifics of the project? Is it just paving, curbing, changing drainage? What are the details briefly?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's all under the application. So the project is about 2.2 miles in length. So the goal is basically all the existing drainage structures will be replaced. We're adding a few additional structures with some additional piping through the project area. The goal is here, knowing that more than likely we won't be back here doing any work in another, 20 years or so, is to try and get the drainage improvements done as part of this project. Driveway aprons will be reconstructed just to make sure everything ties back in properly at the driveways. And again, we are in a section of sidewalk near the Green Hill Road intersection.
I haven't gone through the plans in detail. Are there any big culverts that you're crossing, or I assume there's no bridge work either?
No, just small pipes, 15-inch pipes, somewhere in that range, very small pipes, no major culvert crossings.
Okay.
I have a question about the curbing. When this when this road was worked on, I don't know, however many years ago, there was a hope that there would be Cape Cod curbing put in because there are a lot of wetlands and there's a lot of migration across the street. Can that curbing didn't be Cape Cod curbing? So we've got that slanted curbing and not this straight up and down curb. I know it's only going to be whatever this 2.2 miles, but it would be helpful.
Yeah, so I guess I could speak to the town about taking a look at that. I will note that we're not proposing curbing through the entire project area, just in specific areas.
I understand, but there had been to a previous town engineer when that was done years ago, a request to have that be Cape Cod curbing. There's a lot of wetland on Green Hill. And this place obviously in particular. So for the parts where you are replacing, I think it would be helpful to have that.
Yes, I can speak to the town engineer and just make sure that that's, just to confirm that that change we can make to the plans.
My other question is, it sounds like, I mean, at least what it says in the plan is there'll be some trees taken down. Is that right? There's going to be widening and more sidewalk.
Yeah, so for the most part, near the intersection of Route 79 in that area, the road is extremely narrow in that area. So what we're trying to do is essentially get a roadway that's about 22 feet wide, so 11 feet lane in each direction. And in doing so, there are a few trees along the edge of road that we would need to replace. I'm sorry, remove them, excuse me, as part of that effort.
Okay. And is that's also within the review area?
Yeah, there might be a few like near the land intersection in that review area.
Other questions? Very quiet.
Yeah, no,
Um, well, I'm just going through our staff report. So I do see that we have an email answering the questions about material management, which is helpful, and the construction timeline, which is also helpful. I think it would be helpful, as we discussed on a previous application, to have that explicitly included in the package, your application package, so it's all together. Um, so the response to the question about impacts on the adjacent wetland and review area, it sounds like from an engineering perspective, there aren't any impacts. Did you have or are you going to have any wetland resource soil scientists look at this or do an assessment or be there, especially in the spring and in the fall when things are migrating, to see if there are any impacts on this construction?
Yeah, so the plan would be for the town to hire an inspection for oversight, ensuring that the requirements as outlined in the specifications and the plans are followed. So they would have someone on, again, they're getting funding for full-time inspection, so they could have someone on site full-time during construction to oversee to make sure that the contractor is following all the requirements, especially the erosion and sedimentation requirements as outlined in the plans and the specifications.
Okay. So, I don't know, Maria, you were taking notes, I hope. I'm trying to think. So we asked about the curbing, the Cape Cod curbing. I guess it sounds like we can have inspector, there'll be inspections, so we can specifies that. Are there any other comments or questions that we've brought up? Or
Are you gonna put any new water drain off places, or are you gonna be directing all the new pipe into existing water drainage?
Existing, no new outfall location. We'll be utilizing existing outfall locations.
okay. So I guess, for the commission, I mean, it sounds like there's some things we'd like to see added. We can act on this tonight. We can wait until next month. It's up, or Maria, there you are. Hello. Um, so I'm gonna need some thoughts here.
well, it'd be helpful to get what the town feels about that Cape Cod curbing, I think. And I don't know
I do have Rob Russo online, if he's able to talk.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a cost issue or,
Shouldn't be if you're replacing it anyway.
Can you can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, this is Rob Russo. I'm town engineer. Yeah, so I you generally on or most the majority of our roads we use bituminous lip curbing, which is, the equivalent of the Cape Cod curbing, and that's what we would use for this. We wouldn't use concrete or granite curbing in an application like this. So yeah, to put you at ease, that's what we would use for this project.
But is it, I guess maybe I don't have the right terms. Is it the sloped? Because
Yes,
it is
yes,
sloped. Okay.
1,000% be sloped.
Okay. Because right now, what it is on Green Hill is straight up and down, which is also challenging, I think, for bikers and walkers. So the slope is helpful for all of us living things walking around on roads. So that's great.
Sorry, did Mr. Russo say that those curbs were sloped at 1,000% grade?
No,
I'm sorry.
no, no. I said 1,000%. They will be
I
sloped.
know. I know. I'm just adding levity
But
here. I can't help myself. I
Yeah,
know.
no.
Trying to bring some levity.
We generally no. We generally use those curbs throughout town. The only areas where we don't use, we don't actually have much concrete curb in town, and then in our downtown center and Wall Street and a few other areas we have granite curbing, but generally throughout Madison, we use the slope bituminous curbing.
Okay. Um, I I'm wondering if there is a report. I don't see anything in the file. If there's a report on temporary wetland impacts associated with the project, or maybe Mr. Anderson, you know that there might not be any temporary wetland impacts associated with the project at all, or do we
Yeah, I think
know?
as part of the construction sequencing, so as they're working within the wetland area or the upland review area, there will be right impacts. Um, but in terms of temporary, like I said, I think as part of the natural sequence of construction, as they're working within the inland wetland, upland review area, there will be impacts to the wetland from that perspective. But I wouldn't say adverse impacts because they're essentially staying within the already disturbed areas of the roadway for the construction.
But excavating and removing pipes from existing drainage ways and wetlands.
All right, I think having the necessary silt sacks and silt fence at the bottom of those slopes of excavation would be required as part of the construction.
Right. And so those details are not shown on the existing plan set for each area of impact?
Those are typically not shown. We could add those in construction notes to the contractor. This is typically how we would do those.
Yeah, I think it would be good on this plan set to show, where the wetlands are and what the impacts are. And I mean, that's why we're here, you know, with the wetlands, associated with these crossings delineated, and how do we know the limits? And I know everything has to meet the DOT spec and it's very, very detailed. But we're here as a local commission, so I think knowing where the impacts are certainly and how they'll be managed, I think we need to document.
Yeah, Maria, I don't know if you could share the plans that shows, well, we have delineated those limits and certainly showing the work that's occurring within the areas of, if you go to,
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry if I missed them somewhere.
let's
Hold
see,
on,
one
you
second.
want me to reshare it?
Yeah, if you don't mind, if you go to
Okay.
say, go to the plan sheet, please, and sheet. If you go to sheet 21, if you don't- PDF page 21,
Boop.
if you just zoom in there, you can see where we show at the top of the page where we show the wetland soils, and then the wetland limits is the upland review area of that shown there in the plans, so you can see the work that's actually occurring within the area. So that's shown on the plans throughout.
And this is sheet 21, you said?
Yeah, this is an example of one of the sheets where it's shown.
One of the
correct.
sheets, it's illustrated. It'll say wetland soils and boundary and upland review on everywhere there
Okay.
is a wetland over the course of the 2 miles or whatever it is.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I have that on my screen now too. So, there's so much grade back. I see limits of work. I see a concrete sidewalk. Um, I see piping through the road, along the road. I don't, can you help me out? Show me where the wetlands are and where there's an impact. So far, I see all the work is within the roadway, unless I'm missing something.
Correct. So for the most part, the work within the roadway, in terms of any slope limits beyond the roadway, is very close to the existing roadway limits. So we're not really looking to chase any work beyond just the edge of roadway. So you're probably not going to be seeing a whole lot of impacts outside of the edge of the roadway. So we're very close, I'm sorry, to the limits of the existing roadway in terms of impacts.
Okay. So would you be leaving like a flared end in place at the edge of the road, or would you be replacing that as well?
So at the edge of the road, we're essentially going to be tying into the existing surrounding, I would say, lawn areas, if you will, right? So if you're looking along the existing road, we're, again, for the most part, we're maintaining the existing elevations of the roadway. So if we reconstruct that roadway, right, just to tie things back and make sure we make, all the adjacent properties whole, we'll be looking to add in topsoil and seeding throughout those areas beyond the edge of pavement to tie everything back into the existing grades and reestablishing any lawn areas just at the edge of the roadway.
Okay. Yeah, I don't,
There's you can scroll through. There's some work, obviously. We're seeing this happening in the upland review area.
yeah, but, but I don't know. And I'm sorry, I haven't gone through it sheet by sheet, but so it's upland review area work. There's no actual work in the wetlands. That's my question. Unless anybody determined, are we doing any work
No,
in the
No.
wetlands?
There's nothing in the wetland. So that was something
All
I
right.
checked independently with Maria, and I think we talked about it last.
I
Oh,
apologize.
you
I'm
weren't
doing
here
it
last time.
again.
Yeah, you weren't here last month. That's right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
apologize.
We
Thank
made
you, Bill.
sure last time that because that
Okay.
would have triggered a significant activity.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm so sorry.
That's okay, but it's good to go through and that we can see it. So I think, it looks
Like this chunk here doesn't have anything, and then you go
Right.
to
Yeah.
another page.
but 21
know.
does, and some of the other pages do, but
No,
it's
this is a little bit here. It's
it's
Yeah,
yeah.
I get it.
yeah.
So
Okay, sounds great.
So I think if we can so it sounds like, just to recap, so I think it would be helpful to have the information in the email, if it's not explicitly like that, the material management and staging and the construction timeline, everything that was answered in detail in the email, that could be added to the package. That would be great. So it's all together. And we got confirmation from the town engineer that we're going to have nice sloped curbing where curbing will be replaced, which is excellent. So unless there are other concerns or anything else people want to discuss, we can act on this tonight if you guys are comfortable with that.
I am.
I
I'm
am too.
comfortable with it.
All right.
Okay,
So
I'll make a
I am.
motion that we approve application 2532 Cops Road and Warpath Road.
I would second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Here is our standard language for our approval. I guess I will just add that I think, what I had just said previously, it would be great if we could have the construction sequence and the material management included in the application package. And we can just note that we'll have sloped curbing for our curbs. Does that sound okay?
You want those as additional conditions?
I would love that.
Instruction sequence.
Yeah, the email that we got today,
Yep.
that you forwarded to us today, I think it would just be helpful having all that information in one place.
And would you prefer that in a memo format or maybe just as an appendix to the application? What format would be your preference to receive
Can
it
you put
in?
notes on the drawings?
Oh,
Well,
or an appendix. I don't know.
Okay, okay.
What Maria, do you have a suggestion?
I think that, so if you're looking for the construction sequence to be formalized, we could, I don't mind if it's done in a letter.
Okay.
Um,
That works.
and with noting also that what was the additional one you wanted? The Cape Cod the curbing?
Yeah. And the material, the material management, what you had in that email.
Yeah, we can provide all of that information as part of the application.
That would be great.
Okay.
Okay. So we've had our motion, we've had our second, we've had our discussion, we've added on 2 more conditions for a total of 5. All those in favor of our of application 25-32 Cops Road and Warpus Road with our 5 conditions, raise your hand and say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? All right, excellent. Thank
Thank
you
you.
both. It's great. And good luck with it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Okay, so do we have Lars?
We do. We do.
All right, so we'll go back to application 25-30, 702 Summerhill Road for our underground utilities addition.
And application, Summerhill. I don't know what we're going to want to look at first. So let's just have Lars can introduce himself and tell us what the project's about.
All right, Lars, it's all you. If he's there.
He's here. He said he was ready. Lars,
There.
oh my. Hello.
Are you there, Mr. Helgeson?
Unmute.
No, he is unmuted. He is unmuted. Hold on, let me do.
On Swedish time, maybe.
Yeah. So this is him as well. I wonder if he need to call in and zoom in.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
There you are.
Oh, there we are. I'm sorry about that. Am I on the phone or am I on Zoom? Because I did both.
So you weren't coming through on Zoom, but your voice is coming through on phone, so this is fine.
Okay, is my video up or am I just on the phone right now?
Nope, you're just on the phone. Your video's black.
Okay, because I tried to log in, but regardless, it doesn't allow me. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, you're
Yes.
here.
So I'm sorry. I thought there was date was on a later date on the 7th and not tonight. I apologize for that. Okay.
okay.
So yeah. So my goal, as you've read in the application, is to basically bury my utilities.
Okay.
I can bring.
As illustrated and verbalizing, I tried to be very clear that I'm not actually going to be going into any of the wetlands itself, but just going down the driveway, which happens to go, through the wetlands area. I guess it's in the setback, right on the driveway.
Well, you're in the upland review area. You're in the 100-foot review
Yeah,
area.
upland. Okay, sorry. I'm sure I don't have the terminology correct.
Okay.
But the goal is to just bury it through the driveway all the way from the small house up to the street, and not at any time go into the actual wetlands. And I've been in touch with the Northeast Utilities, and they're all set as far as it being done. Obviously pending your guys' approval.
Okay. And I guess just to reiterate, so you'll have to dig a trench through your driveway, which goes to the
Yes.
review.
Correct.
And as I understand it, the soil is going to be put next to the trench and then reburied on top, right?
Correct.
But the timing, so how, it said that you might put tarps on or something.
Well, is it right? As far as the certainly in the setback area along the driveway, basically from the small house up whatever distance up beyond the setback area, I was going to get some tarp plastic material, cover the dirt that I've dug up to avoid it being washed out. But in addition to that, I was going to have hay bales along the side of that, just to really make sure that nothing washes down or falls into the wetland area itself.
Right.
How much trench do you expect to be open at a time?
Well, I have to actually have the whole thing trenched in order for it to be inspected. For me to put in the Figure 40 PVC,
Mhm.
and then for the EverSource to pull the line through, for them to be all squared away for that. And I guess the town is going to have to inspect it all as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, the electrical,
electrical
they'll have to
trench.
do an electrical inspection to make sure it matches the town regulations. But
Sure. Yeah, and that my electrician is going to be, obviously doing all of that, the connections and so forth.
but the big one is the EverSource regulations, what they want, which is
Yes.
usually in excess of what the building code says.
Right.
And are you doing this excavation yourself?
Yes, I have a backhoe and I put a narrow bucket on it, a 1 foot bucket, to be able to trench the way. Yes.
So the timing, so it's really unclear how long you'll have your soil stockpiles there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. It's going to be the least amount of time. So I'm going to be in contact again with the EverSource engineer to find out what time frame they're going to have for when they think they would actually be able to pull the line. Then it would take me probably a few days. I'm not even sure how long it's going to take me to actually dig the trench. I'm going to have the PVC line already on site, ready to go. So as soon as the trench has been dug and is at the right depth, I'm going to be double checking everything to make sure it's the right depth per EverSource guidelines. Immediately lay the PVC in all the way through and have them pull the line, inspect the PVC, make sure it's good for them, pull the line, and I think what has to be done, I believe, is as soon as they see the PVC and they see that it's all intact and good, I think they would then okay me filling in the trench, so that they could then pull the line through without, yanking or pulling on the exposed PVC. I believe that's what the guideline is, and if that's the case, it would be a matter of days.
So you're going to get the word, so Eversource says we can do it on X day. You'll start
Right, and that'll be
trenching
my
to make it'd be at least 2 days of trenching. They show up, lay the conduit, or you put the conduit in.
yes.
You would have to, I believe the the building department needs to inspect the trench as well.
Okay, that's fine, and I'll coordinate with the town building inspector as well to try to coordinate again when Eversource is able to do it. I think they're the main player as far as dictating time frame. So when they say they're going to have the availability to look at it and to pull the wire, I'll
You'll
coordinate
start
my time
digging.
and start digging at that point in anticipation. I'll communicate with the town building inspector as well for him to come out, or him or her, I'm not sure who it is, to come out probably on the same day, I suppose, as the Eversource, and hopefully get everything all done and minimize the time that the trench is open. And obviously, if weather forecast is going to be storming, I'm going to hold off until the forecast is relatively clear.
I believe they need to see the trench depth, the conduit in the trench.
Yes.
But I could be,
Yes,
I don't.
they do, and they have maximum depth of 3 feet, and they want 18 inches, but actually 2 feet of dirt above it. So that's my target. I'm going to be trenching down to 3 feet, make sure it's all set, double check the depths, and get the conduit in at that point for them to inspect.
I have a question.
Yes.
It looks like there's a 18-inch corrugated metal pipe
Yes.
near the
Yes.
existing building there. So do you know how far below the roadway the top of that pipe is?
I do actually. At the outflow portion of it, it's approximately 18 inches. However, at the inflow portion, it's about 12 inches. So I'm going to be from the driveway top to the top of the corrugated line, to the top of the culvert.
Top of the culvert from the top of the drive is about 12 inches.
Yes, on the inlet side, and it's going to be more towards that side that I'm going to be trenching and tunneling underneath the culvert. So I'm not digging up or
so that was
removing culvert.
that was my question. So you're tunneling, you're going to dig 3 feet, so you're going to be below that pipe, is what you're telling us.
Correct.
And you're planning on just opening up a section of that pipe
No,
and digging below
I'm not
it.
opening. I'm not opening the pipe at all.
No, not the pipe. You're opening the fill around that pipe. Opening up.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yes,
exposing a
that's
section of
correct.
that pipe. Okay.
That's correct.
And you think it's one piece and it'll stay intact and
Yes, it was one piece of corrugated pipe.
okay.
And
Just
when I'm actually,
curious.
getting technical, when I'm digging it, it's going to be with my backhoe, getting close-ish to it. The remainder I'm going to dig by hand to make sure I don't actually damage it, of course.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I'm going to want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'll be doing it by hand, and whatever
Okay.
I have to get underneath. So
Yeah. And it's 300 something feet total to the road?
no, it's about approximately 420.
420 total trench length to street to
Wow.
cottage is 420. The
Cottage.
And
trench,
that's only approximate. That's only approximate.
the trench
Yeah.
to the cottage to the wetlands is 37 feet. The length of the driveway is 40. The remaining is 300. So it's the
Okay.
longest coming from Summer Hill almost to the culvert, right? That's the longest
Yeah.
route.
Oh yes, that's not in the setback area at all.
What
Okay.
what kind of backhoe do you have?
It's a Case 580 Extend-A-Hoe.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you should be able to dig maybe a couple of 100 feet if you work a long day, right? It's going to take at least 2 days to dig that, I
Well,
would imagine.
I don't know. I've dug holes, but I've never dug a trench quite this long at this depth.
Yeah.
So I'm actually hoping. I may be overly optimistic of getting a full day going, but the time consuming part is, of course, down in the setback area. In that area, digging by hand under the culvert and making sure I'm very precise with the placement of the dirt, so it doesn't intrude into the wetlands area or the setback further on. And the area up above the driveway, which goes up the hill and to the upper portion to the street, that I don't have to be quite as careful with. I'll just sort of dig it and make my way. So I'm hoping that it'd be maybe a full day,
Do you think you
but
could dig
maybe two.
dig the whole thing? Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
I
optimistic.
don't know. Maybe
Yeah, I
I'm
think so
overly
too.
optimistic, but because that machine, when they get it going with the when I'm going, unless I hit ledge or something disastrous like that at some point higher up,
Boulders or
yeah. And I don't think that in the area in question, I think back when they had built the driveway and all, I think that was all fill that they put in from elsewhere on the
yeah.
property, right
This
up
is
into
a
the cottage. So I don't anticipate there's going to be any ledge or anything significant in that stretch. Further up the hill and in the top of the driveway, I mean, who knows? No, but if that's neither here nor there as far as the application is concerned, because I'll be well out of the wetlands area.
Um,
Is it possible to do it in sections?
I am not sure. I didn't actually ask the engineer, the Eversource engineer. I can call him tomorrow and inquire.
Yeah, it would mean multiple inspections, but it would mean
Yeah,
you wouldn't have a huge trench exposed for we don't know how many days.
right.
yeah, I think, optimistically, at least 2 days. But if you're doing some hand digging and you're also covering up your soil and
Right,
you're waiting on people, right? And
right.
anytime you're waiting
Yeah,
on multiple people,
and I would say, with some of the unexpected, expected snafus, delays, whatever might be going on, I would anticipate maybe even a week.
oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm saying worst case scenario. Where everything goes wrong, where the engineers truck breaks down. I can't imagine me doing the digging would be really more than 2 days. And like I said, coordinating with the Eversource engineer about when they would come out to take a look at it and then pull the line. Um, I'm not sure. I can't really give you a reliable time frame because I can't. There's other variables that may come into play that I'm not aware of.
right. And so go ahead, Lee.
Have you thought about what direction to dig? Are you digging from the street to the house or the other
well, that
way?
was my
No,
question.
no. I'm going to be starting at the cottage because I'm going to be backing up, and that's the only way to go. Because otherwise, I'm going to have to drive over the trench with the backhoe, and that's definitely no good. So I'm going to be starting at the cottage, digging, going through the setback area in the driveway, that area first, making my way up the hill.
Well, in that case, I think Martin's idea is a good one because if you don't know what's going to happen up the hill, you don't want to leave that area in front of the existing building open for
Okay.
variable, right?
Right. Very reasonable. And what I'll do is I can inquire of the Eversource engineer and see what he says, if that's even possible from their point of view or not. I don't know. I didn't think to ask him when I've been in touch with him previously.
Yeah, and having the trench uncovered in in your wetland review area for who knows how long, covered in tarps and maybe hay bales, you could have some unexpected weather that washes everything away. So sections would be helpful. Um,
Right.
the other question I have is, and I think we got some email today, addressing this, but um, do you have any sense where the water table is? You're digging in between, looks like two wetland areas, and
Right.
I would, an unexpected high water table, if
Oh,
had a lot of
I don't.
rain, what are you gonna,
Right.
if you have a filled trench of water, what's gonna happen?
Um, uh, I'm not really sure. I don't know what the water table would be, but the driveway itself, relative to the surrounding ground, including the pond and the area that's on the outflow of the culvert, but up on the north side, which is where the inflow is, it's the driveway is rather elevated above that. I'm trying to think with the culvert. The culvert usually just has a trickle running through it. It's not full ever. And it's usually just a very modest amount, and it's more of like an equilibrium between the two sides. So it's not where water is, that you can see like gushing or rushing through. And I would say it's maybe a couple of inches at most in the bottom of the culvert.
But you're going below
And
the culvert, right? You have to dig
right,
well below.
it would be going below that. And as far as the water table goes,
I would say
further up.
by looking at the plan and the elevations, I totally see what Kayla was seeing. There's an 18-inch pipe already below the road, another 12 to 18 inches,
Mhm.
so there's 2 or 3 feet, and then you're into the water, and
Right.
you're going to be into the water under that pipe. I think that you'll probably be
And
into the water
actually, let me,
along.
as
Yeah.
I think, it's not right there, but there's a surface well which supplies water to the cottage, and it's
Yes.
probably maybe 20 feet, maybe 18, 20 feet away from the culvert over to the on the upstream side. So if you're looking from the driveway facing the cottage with your back to Summer Hill, there's an area over to the left. And I've had that, and because I've had to do some work in the bottom of that well as far as getting the pump going. It was a fair distance from the water surface there, which I'm assuming would be the water table,
Okay.
to the ground
Thank you for
level.
that.
It was
Yeah.
it was
I'm sorry.
it was
I'm
probably
sorry.
like 4 or 5 feet below ground that I recall. 'Cause I had to go down with
Yeah.
a ladder. It was 8 feet deep, and there was something like maybe 3 feet of water in the bottom of the well.
Okay. I'm sorry. The pond is right there. You have surface water right there. It's at the
Right.
surface. And so it's a different, your shallow well is tapping into something different. There's a drainage way coming through. So the two don't relate,
Oh,
frankly.
okay. I thought with the water
So
table
it's going to
being
be, so I think
okay.
at least, the thought of having the trench open, we don't know how long for, especially along this wetland area, I think is, cause for concern. And I think maybe at a minimum,
Okay.
we look to see, erosion control installed along both sides of the road before you do anything. And
Right.
then,
Well, I was planning actually on before I was digging, I was going to actually be placing the hay bales first before I started digging,
you
just in case
mentioned hay
when
bales,
I'm
when you said that, Lars, 400 and something feet of hay bales and on both sides of the road. I mean, I think
okay.
you're creating a lot of waste there, I think.
Right.
Even straw wattles, and I don't think the entire length, but so there's the concern about erosion control right next to the wetlands. And then you think about the trench going up the hill. Suppose, you get a big storm and it washes the trench and down the hill, and then it goes down
Um.
into the wetland area. So that the silt fence, I think, should maybe address, you know, that kind of scenario before you get started,
Okay.
and then think about
Um,
doing it in sections.
okay. Well, as far as doing the sections, like I said, I'm perfectly agreeable to that. But I have to make sure that it's okay with Eversource. Maybe having
Sure.
it on one day, trenching, down in the area by the cottage through that wetland setback area, up to whatever point up the driveway and beyond. Get that done. Get the PVC line and everything all situated there, and then have all the inspections done. Hopefully within just a few days of it starting the trenching. And fill it back in right away, and then continue with the rest of the trench, up in, like you suggested, as in sections. But I'll have to see whether that's acceptable to Eversource. I should think it would be,
Yeah.
but I mean, I can't speak for them. I'll have to inquire.
They may have other specifications too, other than just the PVC for the area of the trench that's going to be wet. So
Mhm.
that's another thing.
Yeah, I didn't
Talk
ask
to them
him
about.
specifically, but he didn't really seem to have any concern,
Yeah,
because he outlined to me that the PVC line is, you don't want to really have direct bury because you can damage the line. But as far as the water, he did say that the water it might be exposed to didn't matter as far as the line that's in the PVC, because I asked him about if I had to glue the PVC to make it watertight, and he said, no, you just dry fit them together and that's good enough.
I see.
So I'm sure when he does,
for matter
when
then.
they
Good. Okay.
yeah, so I don't think
Thank
the
you.
water itself would be an issue for the actual power line in the conduit.
Okay.
I think that still leaves us the question that, it's likely you're going to hit water, and what kind of plan you have for that. You should have a plan for, you're digging 3 feet down
Hmm.
into wetlands, and there's undoubtedly going to be water, at least in part of that area.
Okay.
So you'll need to figure out, I mean, so what happens then? What happens to your trench? What happens to the fill?
Okay. If actually that had not actually occurred to me about the water table, I would, again, I'll double check with the engineer, but as far as if I'm digging through it and water goes into the trench to the level of the water table, as far as placement of the pipe, it shouldn't really matter because I can just put it in the water, and then backfill it, of course, with the material in that section. So I don't know what solution I would have or answer for that is if some water does come into the trench and groundwater to the water table, the level, what to do about that. I mean, I don't think pumping it out would be appropriate, but I'll do whatever is necessary. I'm happy to do that. But I don't know what else would happen for me to do.
I would imagine that you could put your pipe lengths through it and then put
Hmm.
stone into it, and then, some water would be displaced, and that would be it.
Hmm.
That was gonna be my
Okay.
question. So if the water table, if the trench fills with water from the high water table, you're saying that it doesn't, the laying the conduit isn't gonna matter. Like the conduit can go in the
Right.
water?
That's correct.
Okay,
Because what Eversource said was I don't even have to glue each of the sections because it doesn't matter. The water, if there's water in the pipe after it's set, I mean they don't care. It's the physical protection of the wire from surrounding dirt, rock, and so forth that they were concerned about, and that's the reason they wanted the conduit
well,
placed.
that's why
That makes
you
sense.
were saying you didn't think you would need to dewater.
So do they
I'm
know?
sorry.
Go ahead.
I thought at one time, and I don't know if that was in an email or when I had asked about the dewatering to provide
Oh yes,
information, you said you didn't think you were gonna need to dewater.
right.
And
By
that
that
wasn't
I
necessary.
thought it
You're
was
saying that not.
diverting. Yeah, it hadn't occurred to me. By dewatering, I thought you meant, like with the inflow and the outflow water affecting, pumping water from that. That's what I thought you meant. And if that was, then I misunderstood. But as far as even as I think about it, if water is in the trench from the groundwater, which I can't imagine would be very much, just based on the fact that the driveway is somewhat elevated, that it would be very much. And even if there was water in the bottom of the trench, I mean, I'll just put the PVC line through it. And the lines that I'd be doing when I'm digging if I'm doing it in sections, I would be able to, if it looks like water is coming into the trench from where I'm digging from the house, I'm going to start at the cottage, make sure that's all set, get down to the culvert. And if water is starting to fill a little bit in there, I would get those first sections done before continuing much further up and try to get the conduit in place, even in subsections, at least placement, until I get to the longer period. And the PVC pipes that I'm going to be using for this, I can obtain them in 20-foot lengths. So placement will be quicker. So even if water is filling, I don't think I need to remove any of the water. I'll just place the lines and the pipes in place.
Joe, Steve, Lee, anybody?
I
Okay.
think that works. I think putting the pipe in and putting stone around it works.
Yes. Yes.
You know, some
Yes, so
water
it
will
doesn't float
spill.
away. I would make
Yeah,
sure that,
yeah, but
put a stone on it, whatever is appropriate to hold it in place. Yes.
is this our first meeting on this application?
Yes.
Yes, it was received last month.
Okay, yeah, to
Last month.
To KLO's point, much of the evening, Lars, you're talking a lot about how you would sequence this project, and we just can't keep up and get all of that on the record as far as your order of
Okay.
operation, because I think it's changed just in the course of this conversation. And so I think what we
Okay.
really look for is a really detailed description of how you would execute this project, and more details on the
Okay.
plans where erosion control would be, how you would manage your uh water when it is in the trench, and get it onto a plan, and write out a sequencing plan for the project for us to look at. And then,
Okay.
because it's a lot to get your head around,
Well,
quite honestly.
he did do that, but it's now changed.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
it's
because I hadn't considered the groundwater thought that and whether I hit groundwater or not, who knows. But I understand your concerns, and I'll certainly comply with what your preferences would be for this.
And I know that, Lars, you had come in here a couple of times over the past year or so wanting
Yes.
to do this project. I know it's at least been 2 years, a long time coming, and
Right. That
we
I've been
had,
thinking. Yes.
yeah, and we had recommended in the past, some, professionals that maybe could assist you. And I'm not, a proponent of telling you to go spend a lot of money and hire, engineers or anything, but I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you do need to speak to someone that could at least help you get a little more of a
Some
plan
advice.
together.
Okay.
We do have, an existing survey of the property that does show the wetland boundary, and maybe we
Right.
can get something a little more detailed um with some assistance.
Okay. So, so you're, I'm just trying to figure out a way to address this, to make sure I address all of your guys' concerns. So, please correct me if I'm mistaken or if I'm missing something. And that would be basically when I'm trenching along from the cottage under the culvert and through the setback area in that portion of the driveway, and whatever we can do with sections, depending on what Eversource has. Then that would be one. With regards to the groundwater, what I would be doing about that.
Right.
Right, and which would probably not really be anything. That would probably just go through the water and backfill it as quickly as possible, depending again on what Eversource's guidance is.
right. But as Martin suggested, one way you may get more water than you expect.
Yes.
One way to address that is having crushed stone underneath, depending. So you could think about having crushed stone and then putting your conduit on top.
Right. Well, I was actually planning on, and actually not crushed stone. I think under the conduit they're concerned, and I was going to be putting in some mason sand as a base on which to,
There has
you know,
to
a
be
couple
some
of
kind of
inches of
clean
mason
fill
sand.
under conduit, so.
Yeah,
um,
that's what the mason sand would be would go into for.
But
And that's that. When I mentioned it to the EverSource engineer, he said, "Yeah, that would work great."
So
So
normally, if this was, brought before us other than, in front of, the agency by a homeowner,
right,
it's normally done on on a plan, on a survey plan, and the trenching would be detailed, the silt fence, the installation of the silt fence would be detailed. Your plan to be watering would be detailed on there. If
okay,
I could send you some, samples to show you what we're kind of looking for.
that would be helpful. Yes.
It's something that, which is why, the past couple of times when, you know, you had come in here and spoke with myself and Aaron Mannix, that we had recommended
Hmm.
that, it's a long run, and
Right.
that you may need to get, an engineer or, someone of assistance with the plan.
Hmm. Okay.
So I think that sounds like a good plan. Maria can send you, essentially, as we just discussed, summarize what we've just discussed, with some
Right.
examples of what we would want to see on a plan, and
Sure. I'm happy to do that.
figure that out and check with EverSource about sections, because it is a
Yes.
long, and I think it'll be, I think there'll be more challenges than maybe you're anticipating, especially through the
Okay.
back part.
Right.
When you're checking with EverSource, you may inquire. They may have some standard construction details for like uh, laying the PVC in water, for instance. They
Right.
may they may have some uh, uh, details that you would also get from an engineer, but.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'll clarify with, like I said, with the EverSource engineer about the segment, and also the question of water. If worst case, if I had to actually pass the PVC line through water, if it would have any concern from their point of view.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
make it clear that you're going, you're going in between two wetlands, and there's
Right.
to be water.
Yeah. Yeah. Because their engineer, he was out here last week and to eyeball the whole situation and the layout and make sure there was no concerns from their point of view. And he didn't seem to think that there were. But I'll address those 2 points specifically to make sure, very directly with him, and include that in my additional information for you folks.
And who is this? Who are you dealing with? EverSource?
It was
At
EverSource, yes.
And he's an engineer that's helping you with this, or no?
Well, he's well, not helping me like for me. Rather, he's the one who makes sure that any work that's being done is done the way EverSource needs it, and to strategize, and gave me advice on placement and depth, and make sure the rules of safety and guidelines that they've got are followed.
Okay.
He was a source of information for that, and I did inquire with him about under the culvert and all that what needed to be done, and depths and the spacing and so forth.
Okay, well, that's great that you're getting EverSource's take on what they want, and then Maria can, send you some examples of what our agency will expect from our end.
Okay.
And if you can pull that together, we can hopefully see you next month.
Okay, that's what I'll plan on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
So you
night.
folks are all set for me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate everybody's time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi.
Have a great evening.
Too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so those are our pending applications. We have a late receipt, 2 Grove Avenue, which is, what does it say?
So 2 Grove Avenue is, regulated activity permitted to construct a dwelling, septic system and grading within a 100-foot wetland review area. This is, a previously approved, it was approved in 2014. It was a subdivided, or I think it was a free split, lot, and it came to wetlands, and there was a previous approval to build a home. Those people did not end up building the home. They have since sold the property. These people purchased the property quite a few years ago, I think during COVID or before COVID, I can't remember, and they to retire here, I think. This is all irrelevant. And they're just getting around to doing the building portion of, their permitting. So a previous plan was approved. House is generally in the same area. It's now obviously a different house. It's something that, they designed. And it's coming back. I do have Mr. Mandel. He can maybe just enlighten us quickly, but I'm pretty sure I kind of covered it.
Yeah, pretty much. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Chuck Mandel. So, as Maria said, this was previously approved. They're from Texas. They're moving back to Connecticut. It was the original plan showed us boring underneath the wetlands from Liberty Street to the property. Now they went to court. This was a very contentious case. It's not over yet. It still may be contentious, but now we are going down for utilities. We spoke to Eversource, we spoke to Connecticut Gas, and we spoke to Connecticut Water. We have permission approvals to go through the driveway now without going through the wetlands. So there's an existing paved driveway that the utilities will run access the lot. We'll be skirting the wetlands. Well, I hate to say it's a degraded wetlands, but it's very compromised. But, all wetlands are important. I get that. But we will be completely out of it. It's paved. We do have Bob Russo involved in the project. It was originally done by Rich Snarsky. We have wetlands approval. Not wetlands, I'm sorry. Health department approval for septic system to prove that it is viable. We currently just finished the architectural plans, so those are going to go before the Madison Health Department for health department approval for that specific septic system. That won't be changing. And you can take a look at it. If you want to set a walk, I can certainly stake out the area. If you do come in, you'll either have to park out on Grove or you'll have to drive completely into the lot because I would say the adjoiners are very vigilant of the right of way. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
But yes, the previous, any event, it's a different house, but the previous approval has since expired, so.
Right, it expired, so this is a brand new application. But it's actually a better application since we don't have to bore through the wetlands now.
And it's not relevant, I suppose. But it's still in court. I
No.
do remember.
The court case is solved.
Mhm.
It's all been adjudicated, if that's the correct word. But now, like I said, it's everything's been approved. It's just the neighbors are very cognizant of their rights of the right of way.
Of the right of
So we
way.
cannot block it. Yeah, exactly. So I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
It's contentious, that's all.
Yeah, I get that, and it's tight space down there.
Yeah.
I guess I vaguely remember this.
Well, I don't.
I think it would be helpful to walk it because I'm just looking quickly. Is most of it within the upland review?
Yes, the entire site is probably within the
Yeah,
review.
that's why the house is always, the previous house was up in the corner and this one is as well. It's a different design, but there's,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
being placed
We're
where
using the
it can be
exact,
placed.
yeah, we're trying to stay, everything is with that outside 50 feet. And we're
Okay.
trying as best we can.
Okay. Well, I think it would be helpful. I would like to walk it.
I would too.
So my question about walking it Chuck,
Yes.
is where would they view it from? Would they have to go up Four Grove driveway? It's the
No,
only
I would, you
view
could park, I would park a lot. Well, you could drive completely on the lot, go
from,
through the gate and park on the lot, which there is parking and it's not wet.
okay,
I think the vehicles can go there or park on Grove and walk down the driveway.
Okay, so we can walk
But
down.
you can't park in the driveway.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we should do a sidewalk on this one.
This, yes, this is one that I would say that we need to set a date, and I think, Chuck, would you agree that we should all go together as instead of independently, try to get as many people
Yes,
there in one shot and be done with it?
Yep, absolutely, because I would certainly want to tell the adjoining property owner
Yes.
that this is scheduled and
Yes,
be all above board and not hide anything. So I would
Yes.
certainly contact the adjoiner.
yes. I mean, there is no,
Yeah.
and to clarify again, there is no property
Nope.
dispute. There's no lawsuit anymore. It was all, it's
there's
all done
nothing
and it
pending,
was,
and we
yeah,
have
it was settled and the people have moved on and sold the whole entire property, so.
yeah, it was the Roonies have left and
Yes,
Gold.
they,
the original
Thor
parties-
sold and Liberty sold. There's no original people left.
Correct.
From
Correct.
that, yeah, that whole thing. So, yes, let's try to, Chuck will stake it, the area, and then we can schedule a date before the next meeting. Again, try to as many, and if you miss, I don't want to be this way, but if you miss your shot, you miss your shot. Because we don't want to create any tension.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was,
And we want to be, just
yeah,
of the right of way. We want to
Efficient.
be, cognizant of the right of way and not be disturbing anybody, so.
Yeah.
Can we maybe meet at the site late on a Friday afternoon and go out to happy hour after as a team building exercise?
I love happy hour. Yay, happy
Let's
hour.
do
The
it.
Madison Steakhouse.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
It's
in
on
Westburg
you,
Elks,
Chuck.
I'm a member, so, yeah, we'll pick some days. I'm gonna shoot out some things, what is better for everybody. Whether, and yeah, we do work until noon on Friday. If Friday afternoon is better for some people than a Saturday morning, we can certainly try that. And we can shoot some choices out and try to get this looked at before.
Well, I'm pretty flexible because I'm back in town.
Yeah.
And I'll be here on weekends.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks,
I'll
Chuck.
be here every other
both are
weekend.
fine with me.
Okay,
I'll do what I
I'll
can.
shoot some dates out. We'll throw some things around and then we'll let Chuck know, and then Chuck can let the adjoiners know.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Thanks, Chuck.
Well,
Thanks.
thank you.
Yeah.
Although unfortunately, Chester Wetlands meets the same night as you guys, so I just left Chester
Uh-oh.
Wetlands. So
Did it go okay?
we'll talk.
All right.
Okay, good night.
Well, do you have to go there next month too?
See, that's my problem. I'll deal with it. I'll tell you what, this is a much better commission. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, that's the first time you've ever said that, Chuck.
Yeah, I know.
Tonight we are.
Good night.
All right, thanks, Chuck.
All
Thank you.
right, thank you.
See you later.
No section 13 for him.
No.
I know, I was worried. I was like, oh Lord. Okay. So
No,
or
I know I was not here for the original wetlands approval, but this application to Grove was the very first building permit that I got as a building admin
bummer.
12 years ago.
Wow.
So, and it was already, so that's, and I just remember it, and it went all downhill from that application process
Wow.
on. So,
Yeah. And I don't
so I wasn't around for the original wetland approval, but I knew the property because of that. And then all the subsequent,
and I
issue.
think that was new on wetlands then. I don't remember.
Yeah, it had to
I
be. I
don't
started in
remember- I don't remember it
2013,
either.
20, something like that. So it was,
That
yeah.
was way in the beginning. Okay. Well, good. We'll have a sidewalk with a happy hour. We can bring flowers.
Yes. Or, and never mind, I could go on, but Bloody Marys, we could do something at 11:30.
No, I was just people mimosas and Bloody Mary.
Yes.
We'll talk.
Okay, so that's received.
Okay.
Old fashioned.
Yeah. So we have two Section 13s that Maria did for us, which it looks like beech trees, which I imagine will be a problem, and then a shed.
Yeah, I think we have another beech tree one coming too, or maybe this was it. I don't remember now. Yeah. The shed is the one that I spoke to you all about last month about.
Right.
Yeah.
So
There's
that's
no, so that was fine. Yeah.
and then we have the minutes.
I just want to note that there's no correspondence.
Wow.
Oh,
Nobody's doing any mosquitoes.
yes,
I wanted to note that. You'd be so happy.
it is. I know. It's like, oh, look, we can skip right to the minutes. Yes. Deep is taking a month off.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
the minutes were great. I have one question. And this is related to the shed. It was under the remarks, so it's on page, I don't know what page, 6. Right at the end, and it says, Maria Patello requested guidelines on what agency members are looking for in terms of agent approvals for sheds. And it says, after discussions, it was noted that anything over 200 square feet and about 75 feet from the wetlands could be an administrative approval. Is that supposed to be under 200 square feet?
Yeah. Over 200 square feet requires a building permit.
Okay. So it should be under. Do you guys see that in the minutes?
Yep, but I missed it.
Well,
I wasn't there, but maybe it is over.
well, that's why but this is for this is for section 13s.
Yeah.
So if it's a small shed, we should have a permit. If it's a big shed, she can do it.
No, I think it's the other way
I think
around.
it's
Personally, personally, to me, the size doesn't matter.
No,
It's the
Location.
the distance to the wetlands that it's more. I get a little hairy. I don't care if it's 100 square feet or 200
Well,
20
but
square
you would
feet.
yes and no. I mean, right? Because the bigger it gets, then we have impervious surface, then it just gets
Oh, yeah, but
But if you don't need a building permit for a little structure in your yard, a playhouse or a swing set or a
no,
little,
no, you don't need, but you need a zoning permit.
you do need not for swing sets or
No,
play
not for
sets, but
swing
yes,
sets.
but for a shed, yes,
But
it
for a
doesn't
shed
matter what
under
size.
200 square feet, you still need a zoning
So
permit.
then I had to put on my zoning hat and sign off on it that way. And then I rally cap around to wetlands if it's over 200 square feet because then I trigger both on this way and that way on the building permit. So
okay. Well,
yeah.
I didn't know. It wasn't clear to me if it should be over or under.
Yeah, so let's clarify that again so Maria knows. But Joe's the one who came up with the idea. So
All right, Joe, what are you saying here?
I'm saying I gotta read the minutes. We can pass them. I do want to see, because I remember talking about size under 200, maybe within 25 feet of wetlands administrative, or within 50 feet. But if over 200, and I was doing size and distance, and I was getting
there
complicated.
he had a whole thing and then saying, then again, if I'm out there and I see it and you could tell that it's not gonna be, I don't know, there was a whole thing.
So this is all that we have in there about it. This was the
Oh, we can always pass them if you want, and I can go back to the tape and clarify.
I think that looked accurate.
I think it should say less than 75 feet from the wetlands. And it said, and about 75 feet from the wetlands.
I thought it said
Should it be
up to. Well,
square and
It
about?
says anything noted over to and about 70 could be okay. Oh,
that
I think
looks
that's right
accurate.
now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
Over 200 square feet and
up to.
about 75 feet? What if it's 63? So it's maybe up to 75 feet,
Definitely up to.
Well, this looks like giving her authority to do larger sheds 75 feet from the wetlands. And
Mm,
under 200 square feet can be within her opinion, her
But
good
definitely,
judgment.
yep.
And then closer would come to us.
Yes.
Okay.
And,
75
and
feet or greater.
Yeah, so maybe just say up to or you're right, 75 feet or above.
because I think the problem with this one on Nutmeg was it was small, but it was close.
Right.
It was and it was just it was
Right.
very flat and it's going at the top of a driveway and it just didn't seem like, yeah, okay. I think that was my, and I normally would not have because of the it was close. It was, I think it was like 60 something feet or something. So, but it was
Okay.
small. Okay.
So we're saying 75 feet or above. Is that right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So I move that we approve the minutes of what date was that? July 7th, 2025, with
Yes.
the amendment that we discussed. I know it just is in the minutes now.
We
that,
held it and quit. Yeah.
we change about 75 feet to 75 feet or above. So that's my motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. Does that sound okay for everyone? Did
Yep.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone else is okay with the rest of the minutes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I really can't vote on the minutes because I wasn't here,
Okay. Well, that's okay.
That's okay.
but you still have a quorum.
I didn't read them either.
Okay.
But you only need 3, I think.
Yeah.
You only need
All right.
3.
All in favor of approving the minutes as amended, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Right? Abstaining? We got 2 abstaining
Why?
and nobody's opposing, thankfully.
No opposing.
Okay. All right. So remarks. So Steve, thank you for your thoughtful memo. I think as I was following the back and forth on the email, it's definitely something we should, be thinking about. As Maria pointed out, we are under, we have to have everything, public and transparent. And so, but I think Maria's suggestion of talking or having a session with the town attorney, we haven't done that in a while. And I always have found
Not-
those helpful because
Not particularly. We did for like a couple of years ago, but it was just in general. It wasn't anything specific. And I think that this may be an interesting topic to have a specific Q&A on.
yeah, I think it would be helpful because these come up and they're, they're all different a lot of the times. They have, it's open space conservation, it's a subdivision, they get a freebie, it's, it's
The re-subdivision, yeah.
the subdivision. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes we have all these things, sometimes they come back, so I think it would be helpful if the rest of you are up for having this Q&A with the town attorney sometime.
I would like it.
I would like it because I left all my wonderful library at Tolland when I retired. So I haven't got all the notes from all the various attorneys that I've talked with.
Yeah, and new stuff comes up and they have to do different
Yep.
whatever precedents happening, and the law is not static.
Well, in precedent, you always got to watch out for because, like Mike Ziska said, if you make a mistake once, that doesn't mean you have to always make the same mistake.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You
fair
know,
enough.
we're not the Supreme Court and they don't seem to care about precedents lately anyways. Oh, political statement.
We could, seeing how that our meetings are always ever so short. This might be something that obviously we could try to either. Well, to find a time, I think the last time we did it, it was like the first hour of our meeting and then we had a meeting. Or, we can choose a different day to do it on, have a special quote meeting. I was hoping not to have a meeting in, September, and then we got one receipt, and now we have two coming back anyway. So, I never know what we're going to have. We could try to fit it in here, but I wouldn't want to schedule an hour Q&A and then have to listen to 5 or 6 applications. So if it is something you're interested in, and I think we've also done it sometime that it's just a separate night.
Probably a separate night would be good because we keep having, you're right. The first agenda had no receipts. It was very exciting.
Yeah, I know.
Sure.
Thanks, Chuck.
Chuck. But we have Lars coming back anyway. It's fine.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
But who knows?
I'm okay with a separate meeting too. but
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
we've
about
done them both. We've done them both ways. So,
I think a separate meeting would be good, and that'll keep us focused, and then we can have a very set time and be done.
Yeah.
So we can find something that we can
I
all.
could bring hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, yeah.
he didn't want to have a.
What, we're gonna
have a
hand them
party.
out through the screen? Or is this gonna be a in-person meeting?
No,
Yeah.
it would be Zoom, but
Oh,
Oh, wait,
I
well.
think it would. I mean, I don't know. I mean, well, we could be here. She might be Zoom, the town attorney. I don't know. But yeah, I'll have to talk to Erin about it and see how, get it arranged.
Okay. Well, I think it'd be great. I think it would be helpful. And if we can find a time that works in person or Zoom, we will find a time that works.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I
So
think
that
it's
was
a
all.
worthwhile exercise.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so I will see to that. And also see to picking days for site walk.
Yeah, that'd be great. That will be a good one to go see.
And we approved 2 tonight. Yeah.
Go team.
Yay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so those are my comments. Maria, do you have any comments?
I feel like I did, but I feel like I forgot them by now. We talked about the meeting, we talked site walk. We're gonna try and if we can, if we're gonna try to go. And we don't want to compete on these people. I don't have anything.
Okay.
No, I thought I
Maybe
did.
we should rent a limo, and just all go in one car, to really minimize our footprint. Park and ride by the highway.
Come out looking like ZZ Top. A video.
Yeah.
It's getting too late.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So it'll be
Martin, thanks for coming tonight.
Yeah, I'm so glad Maggie went to sleep at like 6:55 tonight. It was like, wow. She
She's
did
gonna
not
wake
have a
up at
noontime
4.
nap. Apparently, it worked in my favor.
That's great.
Okay.
And then we'll see everybody in person in the next few weeks. So that'll be
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And just if anybody know, well, I'll deal with this. Gonna say with you. No, you're not gonna be around. I know I'm not gonna be around. I'm gonna try and go on a long weekend this summer. So it won't be 22nd, 23rd. I can tell you that right now.
Good.
It's fun.
But
My son's going to Florida off to college on that weekend.
Oh,
I'm away
I'll be a wreck.
the weekend before.
You'll be what?
I'll be away like the 14th through the 17th.
And then after that, it's Labor Day weekend, the 29th and 30th. So it may end up having to be Friday the 29th.
That's fine.
Can we do
Yeah,
it? Can we do a weekday evening at 5 o'clock
We've
or 6 o'clock or?
we could try that as well. I'll look at the days. I do have other meetings,
Yeah.
weekdays. So
Yeah, it depends on you.
yeah, so I'll see. I'll look at all and I'll look it through.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll make something work.
I could, yeah. I don't start teaching until the end of the month.
Okay.
But I can 5 o'clock or on I could make
Okay.
generally.
Okay. Yeah, I can even do earlier the week of the 18th. I just can't do that's Friday or Saturday. So
Okay.
okay, we'll figure it out.
Awesome.
Does
Thank you.
anyone want to make a last motion to close out our,
I make a motion that we adjourn.
okay,
I'll second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. All right, well, hopefully we'll see you
Good
guys
night,